Hey guys, welcome to the Best Practice TV studio. We are just sorting out a few more apps. Live on YouTube, LinkedIn and TikTok. No Instagram today?
No.
Instagram as well, so we're everywhere. What I thought I'd talk to you guys about, and Luke's going to give me the signal, so big thanks to Luke here helping me in the studio. This is going to be one of our last live streams here in the studio as we implement our social distancing requirements because our studio is quite small. So I just thought I'd get on and talk to you guys today about business continuity plans and what to do with our disasters. So I've got Luke and I've got Vanessa and some other guys here in the studio with us today to just give us a bit of a hand and answer any of your comments. So if you guys have got questions or comments, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if previous videos I've been doing for you guys have been helpful. I'll do my best, given the constraints, the working constraints of the business, to keep going live for you guys and giving you guys some help. So today I thought it'd be really relevant to continue our discussion that we started last week on business continuity plans, what you should put in a business continuity plan for your organisation. If you aren't across that or not part of that within your organisation, I think it's a good time to participate, to help your team, help your people weather the economic storm that's happening. So yes, there's a health scare for everybody with the coronavirus globally and COVID-19, or specifically COVID-19 coronavirus. But I think more importantly, there is some significant impacts that are about to hit lots of businesses if they haven't hit already. So yes, here in Australia, as an example, lots of hospitality businesses have been asked to close, or hospitality type businesses and grouped businesses. That's going to have a knock-on impact, particularly as airlines close, as borders close. It has a knock-on economic impact for lots of organisations. So one of the proactive things that we can be doing is we can be actually starting to pivot and figure out how we can go forward. If you can see, this studio doubles as my office. And you can see I've got budgets, I've got P&L, profit and loss statements here. I've got everything here that I am using to try to run best practice as an organisation and manage some of the damage that's occurring. But at the same time, I thought, I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to share some information and help you guys with what's going on. So thanks very much to the team for helping get this going. We're going to have less people to help in the next broadcast, because we were told by our Prime Minister here in Australia to only do essential work from an office or essential groups getting together. So everyone's implementing hygiene standards here. We're sanitising so we don't infect each other. But at the same time, we do want to get on with business and help you guys. And so we've done the risk assessment. What are the risks? We're trying to minimise everybody moving with each other outside of our work group. So people going home and then coming back to work. So it's really like our work family and our home family. So we've done a risk assessment. And that's the one thing that I want you guys to be thinking about, is the risk assessment. Particularly as you're continuing to try to work and try to operate, it's okay to mix with the people at work, provided you only mix with the people at work, and that the people at work don't mix with too many other people. So it's going to and from, and it's the people that you're mixing with outside of that. So how then the 6 degrees of separation works in the people you come into contact with. So that's really important in terms of the spread of the virus, and we've done the risk assessment here, and we're trying to maintain very, very good hygiene standards. So we can continue to operate, to continue to bring you good quality information. So what I've done in the last couple of days is a bit more research, deeper research. There is an international standard, and we're an ISO standards-based organisation here at Best Practice, bestpractice.biz. There's an international standard, ISO 22301, 2019. It was revised and republished last year in 2019. It's the business continuity standard. It sets out the framework, the guidelines, the headings for building a business continuity management system. And I thought it'd be relevant to go through that with you today, because we've had a lot of questions about what should I put in my business continuity plan. There's a lot of business owners and business leaders and business managers that are reacting right now. But they're not reacting in a strategic way, they're reacting in a knee-jerk way. And I was asked this morning a question about how am I operating my war room? I've just been on the phone to my sister, who's quite a senior executive in a large organisation, and they're doing the same thing. They're having a war room about how they can continue to maintain their service because their service is critical for many businesses. So they're running a war room every couple of days with the executive. We're running a war room every couple of days on critical issues in our business. And I would suggest that you guys consider doing that the same, but you can do that in a strategic way. So I've got the international standard here, 22301, and hey Daniel, we've got Daniel, that's Daniel watching on LinkedIn. So you guys, hey Nick, hey Hugh. So guys, let me know who's watching, obviously on, if you're watching live on LinkedIn, let me know where you're watching from. So what I wanted to do is just go through this business continuity plan. It's called Security and Resilience Business Continuity Management Systems Requirements, ISO 22301. It's very timely. We've got some detail here on this standard here at Best Practice, and we can give you, if you want to reach out to us, either email us or call us, or direct message us, or live chat with us. We've got live chat on our website, and we can help you through what to put in your plan. I'm happy to do that for free. You know, we can do a couple of minutes of a phone call with you guys just to clarify any issues that you might have, what to put in it. And then if you need us to physically help with that, you can reach out and we can give you a fee proposal. So if you want us to do a deeper piece of work for you, but what I'd like to do in this session today is really give you some free information. So we're live on Instagram, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on YouTube. We're also recording a podcast, so we'll drop the podcast. So you can go back to our YouTube channel. If there's something that I say that you want to share around your organization, you can go over to our YouTube channel, you can copy the link, and you can share that video via email with your team. So let's get into it. I've been doing a lot of talking the last couple of days, so I am losing my voice. Black tea is the best thing for that. So just so you know, if you want to present more videos yourself and do some more social media, then black tea is one of the presenters' favourite things to drink when presenting. Okay, what I just want to quickly go through with you is business continuity plans and specifically their objectives. So the purpose of a business continuity management system is to prepare for, provide and maintain controls and capabilities for managing an organisation's overall ability to continue to operate during disruptions. In achieving this, the organisation is, from a business perspective, supporting its strategic objectives, creating a competitive advantage, protecting and enhancing its reputation and credibility. Now, these are the lights at the end of the tunnel that you guys need to hear. You need to be thinking about with yourself, with your organisation, with your customers, with your suppliers. Contributing to organisational resilience from a financial perspective, reducing legal and financial exposure, reducing direct and indirect costs of disruptions. From the perspective of interested parties, your customers, your suppliers, your staff, you want to protect life, you want to protect property, you want to protect the environment. You want to consider the expectations of the different people in your supply chain, both up your supply chain and down. From a customer's perspective, up your supply chain, their expectations, and down your supply chain. I'm hearing lots of stories out there right now where large corporates are very concerned that the small businesses that are their suppliers might fail. That's going to affect their supply chain. Now, it's all well and good to say that a big corporate's resilient and it's going to survive, but big corporates rely on small businesses in their supply chain. And if the small businesses fail, they can bring down the elephant. So don't sit there thinking that the big organizations, the big corporates that are out there can survive without supporting their supply chain right now. So the best thing you can do as a large organization is to be helping your supply chain, looking down lower in your supply chain and saying, hey, are there any small organizations that are critical for our business and how you can help those guys? So protecting life and property and environment, considering the expectations of interested parties, providing confidence in the organization's ability to succeed. From an internal perspective, an internal process perspective, improving your organization's capability to remain effective during this disruption. You want to continue to remain effective and relevant during this disruption, demonstrating proactive control of risks and effectively and efficiently managing those risks and controlling those risks, and then addressing operational vulnerabilities. Let me go through those again really quickly because this is really the light at the end of the tunnel for you guys. What we should all be working to do right now in all of our organizations is to continue to support the business's strategic objectives, to continue to create a competitive advantage, to protect and enhance our reputation and credibility. This is your focus point right now. Every single person in every single job at every single level of every single organization. Continue to support the organization's strategic objectives as best you can. Continue to create a competitive advantage. Continue protecting and enhancing your reputation and credibility. We want to be making sure that we're looking at contributing to organizational resilience. I'm seeing lots of people standing back and freezing because they've not lent into technology. Now is the time to get on Google and Google how to use the settings in your webcam, how you can use different microphones, different technology. Now is the time to learn and take that time out to do that. From a financial perspective, reducing legal and financial exposure, reducing direct and indirect costs of disruptions. How can we reduce the cost of our disruptions? How can we embrace the disruption that's happening right now? From a perspective of interested parties, protect life, protect property, protect the environment, consider the expectations of interested parties, providing confidence in the organization's ability to succeed from an internal process perspective, improving its capability to remain effective during disruptions, demonstrating proactive control of risks effectively and efficiently, and addressing operational vulnerabilities. Now, we do talk a lot here at Best Practice about how to run a management system, and I've done lots of webinars and lots of online live broadcasts. We talk lots about quarterly business reviews and how important they are. When we have a time like this, it's important to move what would be a quarterly business review down to almost a fortnightly or weekly business review, a weekly war room, a war room of your key influencers, not necessarily managers, but key influencers. And you can do that in a Zoom meeting. Someone can set up the Zoom meeting or the Google Hangout. We use Google Hangouts here at Best Practice. We're a Google shop. We use all of the Google products. We just put a meeting in our calendars and Google automatically creates the virtual meeting room for us. We've been doing that for 5 years. So if you guys haven't got a good system set up, don't just jump around the internet looking for something random. Zoom is a great product right now. But also don't forget that FaceTime is fantastic. So for those of you that are using Apple products, you can just keep adding people to a FaceTime call. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's just a phone call. Like, it doesn't necessarily need video. You don't necessarily need to use data, but you can go and make a cell call on an iPhone and keep adding people into that call, and you can have a really simple phone call. So that is something where you can keep doing that. But this standard talks about doing management review, international standards, ISO standards, quality assurance, so ISO 9001 for quality assurance. Those standards you can go and do. You can go and do that really easily. You can go and look at that. So those ISO standards, I apologize, pulled down the wrong magazine. These ISO standards that we talk about here at Best Practice, these ones along the bottom, quality assurance, OH&S, environmental, information security, they all use cyber security, and it's something that I want you guys to consider, that those are the options that you can use. Macro versus micro, here's a better one, I think. My apologies. So, yeah, these standards, they're a bit more clear, they're a bit clearer here for you guys down the bottom. So they all talk about management review. A business continuity management system has that. So the first thing we need to be doing is setting up a war room. If your war room's not set up already, get those war room meetings happening. And I think personally, minimum weekly. Please ask your questions. I've got Luke and Vanessa helping me. Hey, Matt Jenkins. Perfect. Matt Jenkins is saying he's already had 2 Skype meetings and have a 3rd book for Friday. So that's absolutely excellent. Actually, Matt, I saw a photo of Stan working from his kitchen bench with his daughter. You know, our son is here in the office. He's being work-schooled instead of homeschooled. As we continue, you know, we have an obligation to continue to run a business. So we've got him in here. I've been printing off handwriting activities for my son to do, and he's doing his Google Classroom with his school. So I think that I want you guys to just be aware of that. What I wanted to do was just go through the structural parts of a business continuity management system now for you. It starts with that war room meeting. The standard calls it management review. I'm just going to quickly go through the structural elements here for you. It's obviously leadership component. Now, everybody's anxious right now. And I know that everybody is concerned about what's going on. And I know myself as a leader, I've been rattled the last few days. There's hard conversations that I need to have, and sometimes all you want to do is go and get back under the doona or go inside your shell. But as a leader right now, I know it fucking sucks, but you've got to actually toughen up. You've got to stand in front of your group and you need to talk to your people. They need you. That is your job. That is the job that you are paid to show. That is the job that you're paid to show up and do, Like it or not, that's what you fucking have to do right now. There's a great book that I've been talking about, which is The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. It says that you have now become the wartime CEO. And that is exactly what you need to do right now. You need to step up and you need to tell the people the plan. The plan is allowed to change. You tell your people the business is not achieving its financial objectives right now. The business is not able to achieve its system objectives, its strategic objectives right now. And we need to make changes. That's exactly right, Matt. I'm looking at your comments there on LinkedIn. Retraining staff, correct. You need to make changes, you need to pivot, and that is the job you're shown up to do. And the standard talks about leadership and commitment at the very beginning. You need to demonstrate that. Now might not be the time to write a policy, but you can certainly make your policy live on an internal Facebook group. Now would be the time to set up an internal Facebook group and add all of your staff, or an internal Google chat. I think a Facebook group is a great way for people to share what they're doing, take photos, celebrate birthdays, do videos of everything that's going on. So a private, secret Facebook group, I think, is an excellent idea. Then we can start to look at planning. We need to do a risk assessment. What are the risks and hazards that we might have? What are the issues that we might have in the next day, 24, 48 hours, etc. In the UK last night, the Prime Minister of the UK announced that they're locking down the most of the UK, certainly London, in terms of people can't go outside of their homes. If you're watching this from Australia, expect that to happen in the next 2 weeks. Like, it's more likely than unlikely that that will happen, that we'll be all asked to stay home so that we can stop the spread of the virus. Now, what does that mean for your business? What does that mean for the internet? There was a couple of really critical websites that I tried to get on, Fair Work's website yesterday and a couple of others, and I was finding that those websites were down. So what are you going to do when you can't access the information that you need to get? Everybody needs to be patient, so you can talk about that. So you need to think about your business objectives, you need to think about plans, you need to think about raw resources and competence. So right now might be a good time to run a training session for all of your team on how to use virtual meetings. You know, some of that simple stuff that you've been putting off and putting off and putting off. I am actually seeing people who do not know how to turn on a webcam. I'm seeing people that do not know how to set up a webcam so that they can see themselves on the screen. I'm seeing heads cut off, and I'm seeing faces like this, and I'm seeing chests in virtual meetings, and people aren't being aware of that. And that is really important, to think about your user's experience. It's really important when you're presenting to camera in a meeting with your team members that, good morning from the Philippines, so let me know where you're watching from. It's really important for you guys to make sure that the camera lens is level with your eyes. So I want to give you a demonstration. If you are on a laptop and you are presenting and you're working with your team in a meeting, the webcam that's on my laptop needs to be level with my eyes. Do not have the laptop sitting on the table and looking down at the screen. So trust and authority, the things that we build when we're one-on-one in meeting rooms with people at work, and we maintain trust and authority with our team members, that is built by our body language. So it's really important. A tip when you're in virtual meetings is to make sure that your camera lens is level with your eyes. And that is your responsibility to ensure that you set your computers, your desktops, your laptops, your phones, and your phone devices up properly. So if I'm in a meeting, I need to make sure my lens is here. And be careful that you're not looking at your own face. If you want to make eye contact with the people that you're presenting to, make eye contact with the camera lens. Like right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 camera lenses on me. I'm constantly making eye contact with different members of my audience. I'm still speaking to a group. So I want you guys to be aware of that and practice that. But back to business continuity plans. We want to make people aware of what's happening. We want to have good communication. We want to document information we need to document. We want to start thinking about our operational controls. So what we want to be making sure we do is a big business impact analysis and risk assessment. So the core part of your business continuity plan, the activities that you guys are doing in your war room meetings, is business impact analysis and risk assessment. The standard's saying implement and maintain a systematic process for analysing business impact on a day-by-day basis. Hey guys, let me know where you're watching from. I can see the comments there on LinkedIn. Some of the guys that talk to me a lot are coming on board, and I really appreciate that. So yes, there's a couple of comments though. If you're on LinkedIn and you're watching live on LinkedIn, you can see the comments there, and scroll up and down to those comments and you'll see the comments from everyone contributing to the conversation. If I'm missing anything from what I'm talking about, or if you've got good ideas or suggestions, please add them to the comments, and then everybody can see the conversation, and you can come back and look at those comments later on. So we want to do business impact analysis and risk assessment. We want to review that impact analysis on a week-to-week basis. So everything's moving really quickly. I think war room meetings for you guys need to be happening a minimum of weekly right now. I think that maybe more than weekly might be something you need to do as you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel as we come through this. But this is a big impact on business. Once we've done that big business impact analysis, we can start to look at business continuity strategies and solutions. Now, I've made the mistake in the last 2 weeks of trying to take everything on my shoulders and try to run everything. But I know that more brains in the room or more brains in the conversation, you're more likely to solve the problems. And I've made that mistake, and I'm going to start to try to change how I do that and have my team help me solve some of the mistakes that have been made and find some of the solutions that have been making. So I want you guys to understand that. Don't be a focus group of one. Get the right brains together for the discussion, get the right heads together for the discussion so that you can solve those processes and you can solve those problems. We want to be looking at people, information, data, physical infrastructure, equipment, consumables, information communication, transport logistics, finance, partners and suppliers. Those are some of the categories we want to be looking at in our business continuity plan. We want to be thinking about the controls. How can we get through this one by one, be pragmatic, strategic, and step by step through the process. We need to think about warnings and communication, alerts. We need to communicate internally and externally. Sorry, I'm getting Google alerts for meetings. Communicate internally and externally to relevant interested parties what, when, and how you're going to communicate and the information you're going to communicate. Now, we've been doing company meetings every Thursday virtually for a while now on Thursday nights. We'll continue to post information. We have an all-hands meeting next Monday with our organisation, and we'll be obviously communicating timely information. So the all-hands meeting that we have every month, it's continuing next Monday. It's not going to stop, but it's going to be online. So, and a lot of people dial into that online anyway. So there's more to this standard. It goes into the detail of business continuity plans and how to write them up, talk about roles, responsibilities, objectives, resource requirements, reporting requirements, how you're going to monitor impact and disruption. I've asked for a new spreadsheet to be created this morning, which is monitoring cancellations and changes in our workflow, the project work we're doing and the assessment work that we're doing. It's not something I've previously needed before, but because we're getting lots of cancellations and changes and clients that can't work with us because they've got significant disruption themselves, I'm trying to track that change on a day-by-day, minute-by-minute basis. So who's doing what are they doing, what information have we collected, what is happening? It gives me a real-time indicator of what's going on. We haven't had that before. So even our business continuity plan is changing as we move forward. The standard talks about exercising the program and doing some testing. Right now you don't need to do tests because it is definitely something that you're going to be doing on a live basis, but after we come out of this mess, you want to be continuing to test and trial and do mock trials of your business continuity plan so you know that you're ready at all times. And then obviously internal audits and management review, which we've talked about before in lots of these live streams, and you can look at that, and then we can talk about how we can improve the plan. So I just wanted to talk to you today really quickly without going too much detail, and I didn't want to be too dry. I wanted it to be timely and relevant. ISO 22301, International Standard 22301, is the Security and Resilience Business Continuity Management Systems requirements. There is a very good chance if you do any sort of government work or any sort of government contract work or large corporate supply work that you will be asked for a plan that meets that criteria over the next couple of weeks, if not months, if you haven't already. Let me know if you've already been asked by a supplier or if you've already been asked by a customer for a business continuity plan. It's something that I want you guys to be aware of that you may need to do and it may need to prepare. You can go and have a look at that standard. It's pretty straightforward. You can do plenty of Googling to find templates on the internet for free. I noticed this morning, and I'm aware this morning, that a few people in our office showed us that there are organisations out there selling templates, hygiene standards, cleaning procedures, They're taking advantage of this situation right now to go and buy documents, that you would go and accidentally buy documents and templates. Please don't do that. There's plenty of that information for free. My tip for everybody, if you're looking for creating a policy or a procedure or a document or a business continuity plan and you just want a template, do a Google search and press the images button. Press the images button. Don't just search and look and read. Click the images button and that will show you all the free templates that are out there that you can just click and open and copy. So please don't fall into the trap right now. There are plenty of consultants out there right now that are being opportunistic and they're saying, buy my Microsoft Word template for $300. Please don't do that. Keep your powder dry right now. You don't need to waste that money. If you want to reach out to us, I'll help you do the Google search. We'll find you something for free. But I don't want you spending that time right now. What's important is the content of those documents. Anybody can get those templates for free. We can just copy the headings of the standard. We can write the document really quickly. You can get the contents page. I think you can get the contents page of that international standard for free. They'd be the headings for your business continuity plan if you need to write one. What's important is the content. What's important is the actions. What's important is running the war room meeting. If you need help running the war room meeting, if you need help going through the process step by step to work out what you need to be aware of, what you need to do for your organization, that's where we can help. It's about having the meeting, having the conversation. I've been doing it here at Best Practice. Here's the P&L, here's the budget, here's my notebook with all the stuff that I need to work through. There's an empty coffee cup, here's a cup of tea. This has been, the center of the universe here in the studio, and I wanted to just give you guys a confidence that you can do it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. We've had a deep conversation. We've had a deep conversation here in the business this morning about what we can do to help people, what our experience is, what the worst case scenario is. If you're working for an organization that collapses or if you lose your job, I've been there. I've been unemployed. I've been in an organization that collapsed. My family's business collapsed way back in the late 80s and the early 90s. I've been there. I've been kicked out of the family home, because we couldn't afford to pay the mortgage. So I've been there before in the recession of the late 80s. So if you're worried about that or if that happens to you, please reach out to me and I'm happy to talk to you guys and talk you through it step by step, what you can do, what the playbooks look like. There's obviously hundreds of books up here. Now's the time to do some professional development and reading. If you find you're not occupied, please do that as well. And if you need recommendations from me, please reach out. One final point, I'm very passionate about this and I want you guys to be aware of this. Sell or be sold. This book by Grant Cardone is very critical right now. There's obviously The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, but for everybody out there, the world is very, very competitive and you're going to either sell or you're going to be sold. And you don't want to be on the receiving end. You want to be 100% control of 100% control of your destiny. So leaning in and learning sales skills from free YouTube videos right now is really important. We're going to be building out some programs to help you guys with this over the next couple of months. We're building out a masterclass. So for those of you that are watching that are ISO people, we're building out a best practice CESA masterclass. It's a masterclass program we've been running internally here at Best Practice. We thought it was timely that you guys might like to learn the best practice principles that we use. We're going to be putting that course in our online training academy. The other thing I'm going to be doing with the people that need it because they've reached out to me is starting to do some business mentoring and setting up a small business boardroom. So if you're interested in participating in the small business boardroom where we can get together as members of people running businesses and share ideas, reach out and get some guidance and advice, we'll be setting that up too. So if you want to be involved in any of those two things, send me a direct message on LinkedIn or message or comment and we can get you connected with that material. I can recommend some videos that you can watch on our YouTube channel that are free, and then we can, as we raise and launch those products, you guys can get in, you can get involved. So is there any questions? There's obviously a few comments there on LinkedIn. Let me just have a quick look on LinkedIn. Okay, let me know where you're watching from. We've got people from India, we've got people from Brisbane in Australia, we've got people from China, welcome, Ohio, the home office in Ballarat, g'day John, more guys down in Melbourne, Cebu in the Philippines, welcome. Where are you guys watching from Melbourne? We got guys there from California. Hey everybody. So more people from Melbourne. Gee, Melbourne's popular today. So yeah, let me know where you're watching from. If you've got any questions. So is everybody happy with that little bit of guidance? I'll go through those strategic objectives again if you want to hear them again, just quickly. So yeah, if you've got any specific questions, how am I doing things? What am I doing with best practice? I've recut a brand new budget. Our business isn't meeting its financial objectives, so we've recut our budget. Hey Perry from Melbourne, welcome. So we've re-looked at all of our sales numbers. We've re-looked at our finance numbers. Hey Simon Lever, Central Queensland. So excellent. So I want you guys, look, I think the McKinsey framework, there's a comment there about the McKinsey framework. I think that's okay, but I want you to be aware that this is the international guideline for business continuity plans. And the McKinsey framework is a private, that's a private plan, and that's okay. Look, it's been tested and it's been used and it's been effective, but it's not internationally validated. You've got a much better case of putting across a business continuity plan that follows an international framework and giving your customer confidence than you are doing a private plan, if that makes sense. So I know McKinsey's great, but I think it's better if you can use something that's internationally recognised. Hello in Dubai, thanks for watching. Send me a direct message after the live stream. Let me a quick check here. So yeah, anyone sending me direct messages, I'm getting those direct messages. So send me the direct message on LinkedIn, and I can go through those direct messages. Any questions on YouTube or TikTok? Okay, so I'll just go through those objectives once more. What's the point? What's the point, Kobe, of having a business continuity plan? From a business perspective, you want to continue with the business's strategic objectives. You want to continue to maintain or create your competitive advantage. You want to protect and enhance reputation and credibility. You want to continue to organisational resilience. From a financial perspective, you want to reduce legal and financial exposure, reduce direct and indirect costs of disruptions. You want to, from a perspective of interested parties. Now, interested parties are your customers, your stakeholders, all the different people involved in your ecosystem. You want to reduce legal and financial exposure, reduce indirect direct costs, protect life, property, environment. I've got the question. I'll get that, Vanessa. Thank you. Considering the expectations of interested parties, providing confidence in the organisation's ability to succeed. From an internal process perspective, improving its capability to remain effective during disruptions, demonstrate proactive control of risks effectively, and then address operational vulnerabilities. That's your objective. So you're pulling that together with the old framework of plan, do, check, act. So we want to go into emergency planning right now. I know this hasn't been the top of everyone's list, but it is the top of our lists right now. Rosemary, you've just asked a question, any chance of posting up a template? The best way to get a template is to do a Google search. I would suggest looking at the headings, and for copyright reasons, I won't show you the contents page of this because I don't want to breach copyright. I want to just continue to support ISO, but I would suggest if you can get the contents page of ISO 22301, which you can review on the ISO store. So it's iso.org, I think is the, you guys just check that for me, as the website. I'll get Vanessa to post the ISO store link to the standard in the comments on LinkedIn and maybe YouTube if you guys can drop that link in the comments. I would suggest in terms of a template for this plan, I would use the ISO headings. So you've got context, the organisation, leadership, planning, support, operation, and then performance evaluation. I can read you the headings now. Leadership and commitment, policy, roles and responsibilities and authorities, actions to address risks and opportunities, business continuity objectives. I'll get to that one, thank you. Establishing business continuity objectives, determining those objectives, planning changes, support, resources, competence, awareness, communication, any documents you need, operational planning and control, business impact analysis and risk assessment, general, business, risk, business continuity strategies and solutions, business continuity plans and procedures. And then we want to move into response structure, warning and communication, business continuity plans, recovery, the exercise program of doing trials, performance evaluation, so we want to do monitoring and measurement, what data and analytics do you need to be watching, internal audits, management review, and then improvement. They're the headings, and I think that I would suggest if you're looking for a template, yeah, thanks Rosemary. Appreciate that thumbs up. So I don't want you guys to, just do a Google search. So do a Google search for a template. Click the images response when you're doing your Google search on any document or any policy that you need, then please do that. Vanessa's just used my comment there. She's posted a link to the standard in the ISO store with SAI Global. SAI Global is one of our competitors. I hope they say thank you for us giving them a shout out today, and they don't pillage us as a result. But we've just posted that. They sell that standard there in the ISO store. We'll try to order hard copies of the business continuity standard. We'll see if we can get some bulk hard copies delivered here, and we'll see if we can get them up for sale on our online store. If you go to bestpracticeeducation.com.au, we've got the other ISO standards available. We'll see if we can, with the crisis that's happening right now, see if we can get some hard copies across here and email and post out some hard copies. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to sell soft copies, but if you want an instant soft copy of that standard, you can purchase that right now on that link there. We don't get a commission; they're our competitor. So, okay, so I've got a comment here on YouTube. Okay, so Beth, what do we got here? Context of the organisation. How do you evaluate risk? What template do you use for the metric? Beth, again, I wouldn't bother with a template for the metric. I would just say, in thinking about the next week, what could go wrong? In thinking about the last week, what went wrong? In thinking about the next month, what could go wrong? That's where I'd really want to, I want you guys to go with those questions. You don't need a template. Don't worry about evaluating risk. You don't need to give your risks a priority. All you need to do is say, is this a showstopper? Will this stop our business? Will our business operate? So don't worry about high, medium, low risk at this point in time in this crisis. Just think about good or bad. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is it a really bad thing? I don't want you to get caught up in low, medium, high risk, likelihood, consequence, risk scores, all that crap right now. This is about, is this good? Is this bad? Is this really, really bad? Or, oh fuck, this is about to happen. That's risk management in a crisis like this. So we have to be real with these plans. We're not doing this to get, all this sort of stuff get out. So Craig is saying on YouTube, very relevant at the moment in South Australia, we're going into total lockdown at midnight on Thursday. Great time to look at business continuity. That's correct, Craig. So that's exactly right. So if you guys need help with that, Nick Fagan is saying in the comments, happy to take questions and work through folks. So Nick Fagan is my business partner at Next Practice. So he's somebody who can help. He's commenting there on the LinkedIn feed. So Nick Fagan is someone to reach out to. You can go to nextpractice.education. I think that's correct, is it? Nick, if you wouldn't mind posting that. How would any company perceive continuity for such a pandemic? This is going on in the world. Look, this is for the comment there on LinkedIn. I get it. It's hard right now. But it's important to say to your customers, what can we do to help? Talk to your customers. What are the challenges that they've got right now? You've got your existing supply chains that were all operational a month or 2-3 months ago. Do you have talent and skills that you can use to help your customers? I said to our sales team this morning, I said, have a chat with the clients. You've got sales skills. One of the biggest challenges for everybody right now is sales. Forget the virus. Like, everybody can stay at home, stop touching each other. If you stop touching each other, you won't actually transfer the virus. If you stay away from each other, you won't transfer the virus, and the virus will go away. But when we stop businesses, like we've stopped businesses globally, then we can't continue to operate. So I do want you guys to be aware of that. And so so the question is, how would any company perceive continued continuity for such a pandemic? You can't perceive this sort of stuff happening. This is like a once in 100 year or once in 200 year event that we're having right now. You can't perceive this kind of stuff, but what you can do is you can get up every day, you can write yourself a to-do list, you can say what's really important. What you can do is you can get up every day and you can say what could go wrong. You want to try and manage that. You can think about next week and you can say, if it gets really bad, what will I be doing? And get yourself organized. What I want to just draw your attention to is something that's available through Nick Fagan. So if you contact Nick Fagan has the high performance planners available, and you can talk to him about the high performance planner. And this is about planning your days as individuals. So today's message to myself, be positive, your morning mindset. What are today's top 3 goals? Here's a question for everybody. I know you're watching me on LinkedIn and I know we're having a conversation, but about business continuity, given the circumstances that you're working in right now, have you already done your top 3 goals for today? Have you done them? Because if you haven't, then you can stop watching, come back and watch it later because I'm recording this for you. It's on our YouTube channel. Go and do today's top 3 goals. Don't do another thing until you do today's top 3 goals. Tasks that absolutely must be done today. People I need to lead or connect with today and how I will do it well. An evening journey. A moment that I really appreciated today was the time on LinkedIn with Kobe and the crew at Best Practice. So you can go through this high performance planner. That is how we're going to continue. That's how we're going to continue. We're going to use this high performance planner and we're going to say my morning mindset. I'm going to plan my day, my top 3 priorities for the day, the tasks that must absolutely be done. Tasks that must absolutely be done is I would recommend everybody goes for a walk. Stay away from each other and stop touching each other, but go for a walk. That's the kind of stuff. So you can reach out to Nick Fagan. He can help you with that high performance planner. You can get into that stuff. But today we're just talking about business continuity. What are the actions we need to implement to keep going? Let me just look at these LinkedIn comments. Yes, so that's exactly right. So you guys that are tagging each other, perfect. So keep tagging each other, having conversation. Has anybody got any other questions about business continuity plans? One here, one on YouTube. We're a plant maintenance and don't have the option to let our staff work from home, yet plants are closing at a crazy rate. So Kylie, that's a really great question. We did a workshop. So for Kylie on YouTube there, she's mentioned she can't, their business does plant maintenance and they can't work from home, and I absolutely agree. How can you guys continue? The first thing is if you have to lay people off, try and stand them down on leave without pay so that as soon as you can remobilize, you can bring them back to work very quickly. So basically you're saying to people, you've still got your job, but we can't afford to pay you right now. Go away, do some training, do some learning, have a break, and then we're going to get you back to work as quickly as we can. If they need to go and find work elsewhere, then that's fine. But with plant maintenance specifically, we did a workshop last week where we helped contractors organize hygiene processes and virus control processes, decontamination processes, and infectious disease cleaning. And so if you are doing plant maintenance, you want to start to do risk assessments. So Kylie, you want your team to do a safe work method statement that does 2 things. Protects the safety of your staff and then protects the safety of your customers. And you do a disease management plan or a virus transfer management plan or a safe work method statement, and you work out how you can clean and decontaminate basically the workplace so that it's safe for your staff to go into, and then decontaminate again so it's safe for the other staff to go into, and maintain workplace social distancing. My brother and I were joking around the other day, and I think it's a funny joke and I think it's worth talking about. Instead of working from home, how about homing from work? Because the way the virus is transferred is by people not keeping themselves in isolation. So there's nothing wrong with going to work and isolating yourselves. So for plant maintenance, if you guys go into the plant maintenance area and you isolate yourselves as a team, and you isolate yourselves as a team of 10 or 12 or 20, and you guys don't go out and interact with anybody, you won't get sick and you won't transfer the virus. It's about the interactions we have with people. So I would really challenge you guys to really think about homing from work instead of working from home. What all of the governments are trying to do is isolate people so you can isolate yourselves at work. You can lock yourselves down at work, you can go buy the food you need to buy, you can get a sleeping bag and sleep on the floor, and that is isolation, and you can continue to work. So I would actually challenge everybody to do that, and if you have got questions about that, I want you to really think about that. Craig D'Souza is asking a comment about what's my take-home message from Grant Cardone's sales book, Sell or Be Sold. Right now, I've been talking recently about the business hierarchy of needs. So if you give me a like or give me a thumbs up if you've heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You can go and do a Google search, but give me a thumbs up or a like on any of the platforms that you're watching and tell me, do you know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Excellent. There's a thing that I'm looking at right now called the business hierarchy of needs, which is sales and cash flow, profit, order an organisation, which is, systems and process and policy and procedure. That's usually where we work here at Best Practice. Then there is impact, and then legacy. Exactly the same as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so what I want you guys to be thinking about is that my message from Grant Cardone's book is sales and cash flow is really important for you personally in your household. And so my take-home message is that Grant Cardone, it's a beginner's guide to sales, and I think it's relevant for everybody, is that now is the time to learn your parallel competencies. If you have traditionally stayed away from sales, if you've said, I'm not a salesperson, learn to be one, because if you lose your job or if you lose customers, you need to get better at selling to get back up to speed very quickly. That's the best advice that I can be giving everyone as your personal business continuity plan right now. Learn to sell. If you lose your job, if you lose revenue, I'm happy. I can sell. I can sell anything. You know what would be really nice? It's like when this shit blows over, I'm happy to go and sell ice creams at the beach. I'd actually quite enjoy it. And that's what I want you guys to be thinking about your personal business continuity plan, is that we have all shied away, and lots of people shy away from sales and selling, and is really something that I want you to be involved in. So we really want to be saying, okay, how do we ramp back up again? And that sits at the business hierarchy of needs, and it's you guys. Everybody's worried about, will I be able to earn an income? Well, the best way to earn an income is to be able to constantly sell, and if you can't sell what you currently do, you sell your skills every day to your boss or to your customer. Whether you're making something or whether you're doing a service, you're selling your skills every day. If your customers say, don't want to buy that anymore, we'll go find a customer that'll buy something else. And that's what this book is all about. So Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. There's plenty of free videos, Grant Cardone's free videos. He's a little bit crazy, but it's a great title. You can judge this book by its cover, Sell or Be Sold. So you want to take control of your destiny, you want to learn to sell. And that's the best way you can not be anxious right now, is your own personal business continuity plan. Now, the other book, I've got a few sales books up there, this is Organizational Selling, is The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. Absolutely fantastic book. It's about building a selling organization so that you can maintain your own destiny and you can look after yourself. So that's the take there. Any other questions? I'm really happy to keep on, happy to stay online. Vanessa's got more questions. Standby team. We've got some questions on YouTube. Okay. So Beth coming up for research in August. Okay, so I'm freaking out because we're in the middle of internal audits and management review. Hey Beth, don't worry. Don't stress that you're in the middle of internal audits and management review. Beth, we're meant to be helping you with that stuff. If it's us, I apologise Beth, I can only see Beth T as your username. I don't want you to freak out about internal audits and management review. If you're not working with us as a certification company, then please do reach out to us right now and we'll do a transfer. We'll bring you across to Best Practice and we'll look after you. So I want you to, Samantha, your question on LinkedIn, Vanessa is dropping the links to the books there, or the names to the books in YouTube. So Beth, please don't worry about it. When you're doing recertifications, it's about a status check on the management system. Are you implementing it? Are you using it? Is it helping you? Is it helping to run your organization? Is it helping to manage your organization? Is it helping to bring order in the business hierarchy of control? But more importantly, is it helping you to, have revenue in your organization? So Beth, please send me a direct message on LinkedIn if you wouldn't mind. And I'm happy to get Caitlin, my assistant, to organize a time and I can have a conversation on the phone with you about that. So I hope everyone's happy. So we've got Kylie there, she's good, got the thumbs up. Vanessa's also posted the names of the books on the YouTube comments. Anybody got any more questions? So really think about business continuity plan. I want you to think about yourselves. I really love you guys. I want to look after you guys out there, and I really appreciate everybody coming online. Okay, sorry, Stan Wall has just raised a good point there in the LinkedIn comments. Best Practice has moved straight to e-auditing. So every single audit, research, surveillance, certification audits we're doing here at Best Practice are all virtual now because of everybody not touching each other. I've been advocating for that for a long time. There's information on e-auditing on the Best Practice certification.com.au website. So you can get to that through bestpractice.biz. Go to bestpractice.biz, click certification, takes you down into the ISO world of our business. And there's some e-auditing information there on the website about how e-audits work. We're doing everything virtually. It's pretty seamless here at Best Practice. You just got to plan it a little bit more effectively. We're doing all with virtual meetings. It's working really well, and we can help anybody anywhere in the world. So if you're an organization out there that's watching right now and you want to get, you're ISO certified or you want to maintain ISO certification, I'd really love to help you, and now is the best time. The industry has basically said, you guys can go virtual. They've stopped us previously doing that. And Stan Wall there is, one of our best advocates in terms of testimonials. And I think Stan, who's watching on LinkedIn Live, will attest to the fact that we do a great job. And I really appreciate his testimonials and his ongoing support. And it's an absolutely fantastic business. So check out Lifeguarding Services. So Stan Wall there in the LinkedIn comments. Okay, any other questions from anyone? How's YouTube going? They're all happy? Okay, so I didn't want to take too much of everyone's time. Give me a comment. Was this useful? Do you want to talk more in depth about business continuity plans? I'm going to try to go live on Friday for everybody. So about this time Friday, what time is it? Okay, just after midday Australian Eastern Daylight Time Friday, I'll go live again on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you've got a specific topic that you would like me to talk about, I'll do that. Was there any questions about any of the books there? Did I miss one? Everyone's happy? Okay, so reach out to me if you're interested in the Assessor Masterclass that we are building. Vanessa and I are going to be sending out an email this afternoon about that. If you're interested in the small business boardroom or the business boardroom, will be a virtual meeting like this that we're talking about. We're going to go through sales, marketing, social media one-on-one, all the stuff that you can be doing basically to make your business resilient. I'm going to set that up in our training store as well as a subscription. If you're interested in those sorts of things, you can give me an idea of yes or no. I don't know if they're going to work. If they're not going to work, I'm not going to do them, but I know that I've got tons more value where I can spend more deep time with you guys actually workshopping some of this stuff. Thanks for that comment, Mac Jenkin. Okay, so you guys will tell me yes. All right, I'll start getting that stuff organized. So we're going to put together a virtual meeting. I'm going to bring in guest speakers. I'll bring in people about sales. I'll bring in people about revenue, people about finances, people about systems and process and risk. It's very similar to the Best Practice Business Summit that we just ran. I can bring all those speakers in. We're going to be running some online workshops. I've actually got, at 3 o'clock, I've got a phone call with and a Zoom meeting with Michael Haynes. His book is somewhere here on the shelf. Can anyone see it? I keep saying the title wrong, so I don't want to say it out loud. Listen, Innovate, Grow. This author here, Listen, Innovate, Grow, an excellent book for dealing more deeply with your customers right now. And so we're going to have a Zoom meeting about how we can actually run an online workshop for you guys on this. So we'll be promoting that. How to maintain continuity of the resources, however, paying good packages but not getting consistency. So what I would recommend you doing there in terms of how to maintain consistency of resources. Okay, Stan, no problems, I won't spoil it for you. How to maintain consistency of resources, however, yes, you're assuming you're going to get good quality, but you're not getting consistency. Lean into the relationship with your suppliers. I want you to lean into the relationship with your suppliers and say, hey, I'm not getting consistency from you. I'm ordering it from you, but I'm not getting the consistency that I require to continue to operate my business. You need to improve it, or I'm going to have to change suppliers. And start some conversations with other suppliers. If you're not getting what you want, if you're not getting the value that you require and the consistency that you require, then lean into the relationship. Open up the communication. Go in and give them some coaching. Be very clear about what you require. Right now, I don't think there's any business out there that won't listen to their customer, because everybody is worried about losing everything. So now is the time. If you're not getting consistency and continuity of resources, now's the time to actually go into that relationship. It's really important for your business continuity. So I hope that that answered your question there on LinkedIn. Okay, I've got time for a couple more questions. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes, let you guys ask them, and then we'll wrap it up. There's a little bit of a lag, I think, on LinkedIn. So comments, anything on YouTube? No, everyone's having on YouTube. If you're watching this and it's after the event, please keep asking the questions. We get notifications. I can go back through the comments and keep asking them. And about this time on Friday, so it will be 48 hours from now, So exactly 47 hours from now, I'll go live again for you guys, and I'll keep doing that every couple of days. Okay.
It'll be 46 hours.
46 hours from now? This wasn't 2 hours, was it? 48, 24 times 2. Matt Jenkins. It's interesting to see how quick things change when you mention speaking with another supplier. I agree, mate. Exactly right. So Matt Jenkins is saying if you start talking about speaking with another supplier, everybody's trying to look after their customers right now and keep the customers they've got. And it's definitely something that I want you guys to be encouraging to do. Okay, I will see everybody. I'll see everybody in, so there's 24 hours in a day, 2 days. So it won't be Thursday, it'll be Friday, same time.
Yeah, but at lunchtime.
Less an hour. Are we going to go earlier or are we running late? Okay, Luke is saying he wants to do it earlier. So keep an eye out. We'll post a comment when we're about to go live. We'll give you guys a little bit of notice. We'll put a post on YouTube. Excuse me, got the hiccups. We'll post up on YouTube to give you notification. So around about 44 hours from now, we'll go live, okay? It won't be 48, it'll be 44 on Friday. Luke is keen to make sure you guys are getting content out there. Okay, give us a like if you really enjoyed that. Let me know if that was really useful, and I can see that in the comments. I appreciate everybody's time. I want everybody to stay safe. I love you guys out there. Please look after yourselves. And yes, Rosemary, well done. Off to finish your risk register. Okay, hang on, we've got one more question. How to prevent unethical practices of an employee. Employees are the important factor for the business continuity plan. So how do we prevent unethical practice and damage the organisation brand and image? Look, that's a really interesting question. We talk a lot as leaders about ethical practices. The first way to prevent, and your question there is prevent, how do you fix unethical practices? You fire people. So it's really important to make sure that you fire people and that you do that when you don't tolerate bad behaviour. So you really want to have a conversation, and it's Tulsi Vandergraaf talked about it at the Best Practice Business Summit, above and below the line behaviour. And maybe someone like Nick would like to jump into the LinkedIn comments and answer that, like hit reply to that particular comment about ethical behaviour. But you've got to set the expectations up front. You've got to say, these are strategic objectives of the business. This is our vision, our mission, our purpose, and our why. This is the direction we're going, and this is how we do things around here. That is your script. This is how we do things around here. These are the behaviours we'll tolerate. These are the behaviours we won't tolerate. And so I want you guys to really be thinking about that, and I want you guys to be saying, like, communicating that to all of your employees. The best way to do that is to get your CEO or a senior business leader to do a video and email that out or send that out or show that to everybody. And it sets the tone. You can't afford at a crisis time like this to have covert hostility, to have angry people, frustrated people. Everybody needs to be working together, united as a team, to ensure that the organisation you guys work for survives. Otherwise, everyone's going to be out looking for a job. Okay, Carlito, Matt Jenkins, aside from Skype meeting, Google Zoom, Google Office and Classroom, are there also good platforms for online meeting and reporting? Look, my comment on the platforms right now is we use Google Hangouts. So there's a whole bunch of Google products in the Google suite. And so I think it's important to be maintaining, like, I think that's the best one right now because you can secure it. The great thing about the Google products is you can lock it right down so people can't come in from outside email addresses. They've got to log in with their Google account. You've got Google Drive, you've got Google Sheets, Google Docs, you've got the Jamboard that you can use as a whiteboard, and you've got the meeting product. I was sitting in our boardroom this morning, casting straight from my notebook straight up to the screen, and then sharing that out to the people that I was talking to. So I think right now, because it's free, Google's a great product, and then you can set yourself up with a paid version of Google, and I think that's probably my opinion. We've been using that for 5 years now, and it's part of the day-to-day operations here at Best Practice. I know Zoom is great. Zoom is not very secure right now. They've had some issues with being hacked. It's obviously getting everybody to go online. It's created a huge amount of opportunity for people to do the wrong thing from a hacking perspective. I'll get on and talk about cybersecurity later on. Got any questions? No, all good. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. Nick Fagan, thank you very much for your support in the comments. Vanessa and Luke, thank you very much. John Wigg, the guys from Best Practice, they're in amongst the comments on YouTube and LinkedIn. Want to reach out to anyone from Best Practice and you can't get hold of me, then please chat to those guys. Do me a favour, if you've got any questions, if you want some help, if you're watching from anywhere around the world and you want to look at us as your ISO certification provider or registrar, there's definitely an ISO registrar component to this business here at Best Practice. If you want to reach out to us, we can do your whole certification or registration process online. We're here to help you guys. So please reach out to us. We can definitely do gap analysis. We can help you with this. And then Nick's team over there at Next Practice can definitely help you. Even though an employee has signed an NDA and policy documentation, but they ignore all the things and breach policies and damage the organisation, brand, image and operation, mate, you just got to fire them. If you've got issues with people that are unethical, you've got to fire them. You have to make it very public that you won't tolerate that behaviour. Because even though they've breached those documents, there are a number of people in your organisation that know that's happened, and you must do that straight away, and then people know that if they do that, they will lose their job. So I appreciate, even though the employees sign NDAs and all that sort of stuff, paper means nothing. The reality is paper, a signature on a piece of paper, will not stop someone doing something that they need to do for their own cash flow or their own reasons or their own going off the reservation. So you have to make it very public that you won't tolerate that behaviour and you need to execute that very quickly. That's the only way that you can manage that situation. You already knew that. You already knew that you needed to fire that person. You're asking the question. All I'm doing is telling you what you already know. So please go with your gut and do what your gut's telling you. But if you have those questions and you need me to confirm what you're thinking, reach out to me. Okay, smash that like button on YouTube or LinkedIn. If you haven't subscribed already, please do me a favour. I'm looking to try to get some help to grow our community on LinkedIn. If you could do me a favour and share this video. So for everyone watching this video on LinkedIn, if you could do me a favour, I'm about to finish the live stream. If you could do me a favour and share this video, it really help get us traction. I'm going to do this in a couple more days. You guys can help us get a better community following me there on LinkedIn. We've just hit 13,000 followers, so I really want to say thank you everybody for hitting 13,000 followers. You guys are amazing. And help each other. I can see people helping each other there in the LinkedIn comments. Please do that. So please do me a favour once I've finished. Please share this, hit that like button, ask some more questions, ask some more comments. I'll answer them. That will really help our cause here at Best Practice to get this kind of information out further around the world. Hey guys, that's it. Keep hitting that like button. Hit it lots and lots and lots. So everybody get on. I appreciate the round of applause. Hit that button as much as you can, and thanks very much. So I'll see you guys in 44 to 46 hours, and I really appreciate everybody's support. So that's a virtual round of applause. Keep your heads up, everybody. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. We're here to help you. We'll do more of this stuff for you guys, and I appreciate your time. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in a couple of days. Keep watching the posts, and we'll go from there.